Hey guys, it's Rich with your Monday Spot on the Pagan Perspective. This week, our topic comes from Kristen, and it's about the emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of our practice. So, anyway, they write, the connection between your emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects of your practice, little ways to connect them or compartmentalize them. Okay, I'm going to get on a soapbox here. Little soapbox. Anyway, and this is a little bit about privilege. Now, I will say that one of the privileges that I have is that, and I recognize it as a privilege, is that I can compartmentalize very well. And part of that's probably because generations and generations of men for hundreds of years, thousands of years, however far we go back with the patriarchy, which is a really long freaking time. Anyway, we as men, and I'm just going to leave it at that, tend to compartmentalize things fairly well. And that's become a privilege. It's kind of now in like the cellular memory, or just, something that's passed down through generation and generation. And I just want to say that if you can't compartmentalize as a female, and I don't want to get any backlash from this, hear me out. If you can't compartmentalize as a female, I think that one of the reasons why is if you go back and further, women took care of everything. They were major badasses, and women basically carried everything on their shoulders. So they didn't have the capability of compartmentalizing because they couldn't. They had to take care of the kids and the bills and the house and the, soccer games and all that other crap. They had to do everything all at once. And so they never had the chance to actually compartmentalize. Okay, now it's time for the bills. Now it's time for the house. Now it's time for the children. No, there was none of that. And one thing that I go back to when thinking about the compartmentalizing is the Housewives Tarot, which I did a review on and should be posting up, I think, in August. Getting my planner out here. Please hold. And it will release August 8th. And like I said in that video, is that women, especially in the 1950s, the dutiful housewife, took care of everything. So looking back on that, it's no wonder why compartmentalizing doesn't happen as easily for a lot of women. I'm just going to leave that there. I don't want any nasty comments because I really don't mean it to be negative. I'm actually saying that more as a feminist than as a chauvinist here. So yeah, not trying to be a chauvinist at all, and I hope you guys understand that. Anyway, with the rest of this, I just want to say that I don't have a problem compartmentalizing. One little tip to compartmentalize aspects of your life, and this is something that I'm sad to say that I heard on a Focus on the Family broadcast way long ago, because I used to listen to that stuff. Like I said, last year or something like that. If I didn't come into my practice that I have now, I would have been like the exposing witchcraft lady that's on there. Anyway, I would have been like her, and yeah, not a good look on me. So anyway, something that they said on there that I've used for years since high school, whenever I heard this, is whenever you're coming home from work, pick a spot where that is where work ends and your home life begins. And by that, like, for me, whenever I leave base, usually I don't leave everything at the base. Usually my little marker is like right as I come in the driveway or something like that. But if I wanted to pick a good spot to leave everything on base, As soon as I go out of the gate of the base or out of the parking lot of where I work, those problems stay there. And I don't continue thinking about it. I don't continue paying any attention to those issues, those problems, whatever's going on at work, what happened the entire day. I don't pick any of that up. I don't nod around in my brain. Nothing. I leave it sit there completely. And then I come home and I'm fine. Doesn't make you not tired, but it does make you not mentally exhausted as much. So, if you work from home, because I know that we have some home-based businesses that watch this channel, and we have some stay-at-home mothers and whatnot, thank you. If you are a home worker, if you work from your home, and I just want to say this as if you have a business in your home, and I want to start there. If you have a business in your home and you know that, if you have a certain room in your house that's totally dedicated to your business, then that's tax deductible, all that stuff. Look in your local laws before trying to claim it on your taxes. All I'm saying. Anyway, if you have a certain spot in your home that is specifically used only for your work, once you enter that door, that's your threshold. And whenever you leave that room, you leave everything for dealing with work, any problems with clients, anything like that, you leave it in that room. You don't take it around with you. You don't bring it into the rest of the house. You leave it there. And one thing that you can do, and Arwen Lynch, if you're not watching her channel, I do suggest it. One thing that she suggested was whenever she worked in a cubicle office, she would do salt and pepper lines. Salt for protection and pepper to keep people from, necessarily coming in. So if you do the salt on the home side and the pepper on the office side, cleansing your office and whatnot, opening the window, letting all the negativity out, and setting up that barrier so the negativity can't follow you into the rest of the house might be a good idea for you. Now, if you are a stay-at-home mother, that's a different case because your home office are those little rugrats. So, what I'm going to need you to do, if you need to compartmentalize, is, and I want you to try this because, stay-at-home mothers don't get a lot of breaks. So, what I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to need you to take a break. Whether that is setting a time in the afternoon where if the children are old enough to be left alone, keep that in mind. There's a time of the day whenever they're home from school and whatnot that you say, I need a break, 1 hour, go to your rooms. If you want to read, great. If you want to, just sit there and look at the ceiling, great. And this is something that I get from the psychic teachers. One of them is a mother, and this is what she does. You go in your room, you do whatever you want to do, but we need quiet in this house, and have that for 1 hour. Maybe start off a little bit less if you have really anxious children, but whenever you come out of that hour, that whether that be your personal meditation time, your devotion time, whether that's just sitting there and or just taking a nap, whatever you use it for, that is how you compartmentalize. And really devoting that time and sticking to having that time available for yourself. I'm going to need you to take a break. Now, if you're a stay-at-home mother that happens to have the majority of the day capable of going out and doing errands and whatnot, book yourself a spa day. This doesn't necessarily have to cost you a lot of money. You can, you can have a spa day at home. Go for a nature walk before, and then have a nice little spa treatment that you treat yourself to. Getting any of the little bits of nature off of you that, to exfoliate and whatnot, because, well, skin. Anyway, so those are ways to compartmentalize. I haven't even touched on connecting. So emotional, spiritual, and physical aspects, how do I connect those in my spiritual practice? Um, let's just put this out there, okay? I haven't exercised since I came back from Korea. So something I'm going to need to be doing, and especially with Wellness Wednesday videos coming up. So yeah, definitely going to need to do that because this should be out at the beach. Let's just be honest. But it's freaking hot here, and that ain't happening. So the whole physical aspect, let's just toss that aside for a second. One way that you can connect it, of course, is by doing yoga, tai chi, getting connected with anything that makes you mindful of your body in a spiritual sense. And the thing I love about yoga, even though I'm terrible at keeping a yoga schedule, is that yoga can be done by anybody of any religion. It really spans all types of life, all paths, all practices, all that stuff. I even have a book called Yoga for Christians. So, yeah, that's a thing. So as far as connecting your physical to your spiritual, you can definitely do that. Connecting the emotional and physical, okay, take a Taibo class. Emotional to spiritual, whew. Sometimes, and I don't want to get on a big soapbox on this one because I did that last week whenever talking about baneful magic. But emotional and connecting it with the spiritual can be dangerous. Connecting it too much, letting that flow freely, that can be dangerous. Sometimes you need to compartmentalize it and rein it in just a little bit. Turn down the valve. So, and that's something that I want to suggest that you do via meditation. At least that's the way I do it. That's the way that works for me. So if you're having issues, that's a place to start. So emotional and spiritual. The one thing that I will say is that if you're overly emotional, that is not the right time, at least in my viewpoint. Again, this is why it's called pagan perspective, my personal perspective. If you are overly emotional, that is not the time to be doing spell work. And some of you might disagree with me, and here's my reasoning. If you are overly emotional, like you really don't like a certain politician, and you really want to do some sort of spiritual retribution towards them, that can get dangerous really quick, especially if you follow the karmic laws and all that stuff. If you follow any of that stuff, then yeah, that's not probably in your best interest. If you don't, then well, I would still suggest against it because you got to think of the fallout. Like I said last week, you have to think of the domino effect and what's happening next. What's going to continue to happen to the next person and the person after that and the person after that and the person after that and the rest of the world. So you really have to think of your actions whenever you are overly emotional. Now, if you're really angry about this certain person and the stuff that they're doing in their position, then one thing that you need to do, or that I would suggest that you need to do, is sit back, take a deep breath, let some of your emotion go, scream into a pillow, scream into the ether, get that stuff out of your body, cleanse, drink something cleanseful, lemon in water, like just regular lemon water. If you have doTERRA oils, I know that their lemon is able to be consumed. Otherwise, I would suggest against consuming oils, but I know theirs is organic and whatnot. That's not a plug for doTERRA, but yeah. Anyway, if you get lemon juice, like the real lemon juice, and you put it in regular water, works just the same. You just use more. But works fantastically. It kind of brightens up your mood. It wakes you up. It makes you more alert, more alive feeling. And it also flushes out some of the inner toxins. Anyway, so if you're overly emotional, breathe, get some of that stuff out, and, drink a glass of lemon water. Then, once you are level-headed and can logically think through what your spell work or what your situation is in a spiritual aspect and what it continues to domino, then you can connect your emotion to your spiritual side. And of course, you can also do yoga in this time of anger and angst and whatnot. So you're also going to be connecting your emotional to your physical side. Also, like I said before, Tai Chi. These are some types of exercises that I really, really should probably be getting into, like, now. But yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, I think I rambled on for way too long. Car is going to, give me negative points for this week. And, yeah, I think that's all that I had. So until next month, because next week is Sub's week, may you have love, hugs, and ladybugs. Bye-bye.